Welcome to the Fascia-Informed Therapist, the essential podcast for occupational therapy professionals looking to deepen their understanding of fascia's pivotal role in therapy and health. I'm your host, Amy Mayer, an experienced occupational therapist, practice owner, and dedicated educator. Here we'll dive into the fascinating world of fascia, exploring its significance in the human body and its critical influence on occupational therapy practice. Each episode will bring you cutting-edge insights, expert interviews, and practical strategies to help you confidently integrate the science of fascia into your therapeutic approach. Whether you're a seasoned practitioner or just starting out, our goal is to equip you with high-quality, evidence-based, and fascia-informed continuing education opportunities that will enhance your skills and benefit your clients. So join us as we unravel the complexities of fascia and transform the way you practice occupational therapy. All health and wellness practitioners are welcome. Let's learn, grow, and evolve together. Hi, this is Amy, and this is another edition of the Fascia-Informed Therapist. And I'm excited today to talk about our meetings and mentorship group. This is an opportunity that we added to our library of courses late summer last year, 2024, and we felt like this would be a nice addition to the courses, and it's not really a course, it's more of a group meeting opportunity. And we decided to do this because we were getting some more specific type questions from people that were taking our basic foundational fascia science course. And so we thought, well, wouldn't this be a great idea to get these people who are asking questions? And the questions are not really clarifying about the science, but more, how else can I apply this? Or what do I do in this particular situation? So we added this mentorship group as a free opportunity. When you take the science course, we give you 4 months free. Anybody else can come into this meeting, and it's once a month. And it's inexpensive. I think we put $23 for the meeting. So it's kind of like getting another hour of very specific continuing education. So anybody who's taken any of our courses can add themselves to this monthly group. And I will say it's been a slow start. There's a total of 4 people in this group now, and one is me and one is Caitlin. And for the first couple months, it was just Caitlin and I getting on and sort of trialing out how things work and just catching up on the week, because we don't always see each other every day. And we do talk about cases and what can we do, how can we apply the science, and what's next. Anyway, this was we had a meeting this week, and this is the first time we had another therapist attend. And it's the first Monday evening of the month at 7 p.m. Central Time. And it was so fun. So let me back up for a second and really what's the intent. So my hope is during this hour, what my vision was, I should say, it actually kind of played out the way that I wanted it to. So we say in our course informational descriptions that we want to do problem solving together. We want to talk about cases, and we know everybody's a unique individual, but there's a lot of similarities across cases as well. So how can we work together, and how the people in the group, how would we apply what we know differently? And so we talk about problem solving in case studies. We share ideas about innovation and what's new, what types of clients can we apply this with? And then sharing what's new in fascia science, whether I bring that or whether somebody else brings something and says, what about this particular area? And then we just have all kinds of Q&A and sharing. And anyway, I also let anybody who comes into this course know that if they have a question they want me to research ahead of time, send it to me and I'll do that and I'll bring it to these groups. That's actually fun for me. So anyway, that's the intent. So what I wanted to do was just tell you a little bit about the variety of topics that we discussed in this last meeting. And the first thing that came up was client education and how do we get this information in a way that's digestible for them. The next thing we talked about was homework and giving clients homework and getting them to actually do it, and how we can layer fascia-informed homework into their ADL, so we're capitalizing on what we know as OTs and our skills in routines and patterns of behaviors. And Caitlin shared a little bit about a client that she was working with who was like, oh, well, I never thought to do that while I'm brushing my teeth, because she was literally doing none of her homework and wondering why her tension was coming back into her body. We had a pretty lengthy conversation about foam rolling versus therapy balls and which is better and why, and really what we ended up coming up with is you can use both as long as they're soft. And that's a whole nother, we had a great discussion around it. And one of the participants was talking about how she was having a discussion with another practitioner on why they preferred foam rollers. And anyway, we came up with some really good decisions about moving forward and having discussions with clients, with other practitioners. Then we got into one of our participants brought up, then she's doing her own myofascial self-treatment courses now out in rural Nebraska. And we had a conversation about selling the tools versus sending people to Amazon versus giving them away in a class. And OTs generally, I taught management class for years and I coached therapists for years. Managed, I look at it more as coaching generally, but managed a lot of OTs, and we're not salespeople by nature. So we talked about how having the therapy tools on hand is important because people, once they learn how to use them and how they feel, they want to get started right away. And if you're going to make them go purchase something off Amazon, then they got to find time to do that, and then wait for that to come, and then remember what they learned. Even if you have to charge a little bit more because you have to have them shipped to you, you have to store them. That's a process that has to be managed. So, but creating the convenience of having those balls ready for them when they're ready to make a change is invaluable, I think. And even they will understand in most cases that you have to charge a little bit more than what they might pay on Amazon. And I have had, before I sold the balls, I had clients that were like, what? Why don't you have them? I want to get started. So anyway, that was a good conversation. Then we got into discussing vibration platforms and using those in the context. And we didn't get deep into the whole fascia science that overlays that, but I think that will be a great podcast coming up. And then we talked about using the foot as a treatment tool. And I think that is incredibly important, that if you're a therapist who is going to do myofascial work all day long, learning to use not just your hand, your forearm, your elbow, but also other body parts. I've used my knee and I use my foot quite a lot. And there is absolutely nothing wrong with that if you are just, you clean your feet between people. My clients love it. So that is absolutely something that you should consider, especially if you're, reaching your later years in life like myself. Then we talked about the idea of letting clients vent versus prioritizing a quiet environment. And some of us vented a little bit about how that works, but it was a really good discussion about, what should we do versus what should we not do. And anyway, then the last thing we talked about, which was really interesting, was working with men versus women and the acceptance of a fascia-informed approach and behavior change. And we all agreed that in our experience, and this is not true of everyone, this is generalizing, but in many cases, the men have a much more difficult time shifting out of that no pain, no gain mindset. And women are more open to the idea of, let's try this instead. So we just kicked that around a little bit, empathized with each other a little bit, and then problem solved about what can we do? How can we approach this? So anyway, that was a lot to cover in an hour. There was a little bit of catch up too. And then these are recorded and put into the course so that therapists who come into the course can go back and listen to some of those if they want to. We're going to try and get them up there as both the video recording and an audio recording, so whatever's more convenient for you to listen to. Now, in this particular one, I had to go in and I had to do a lot of editing because I needed to take some names out. So when you come in to have these discussions, I'm going to encourage people to not use names when you're talking about cases, not use really specific identifiers. We do say you do it when you get into this, you agree that you will not download any of this information, share the video or the audio with anyone, but can use this to stimulate your own thinking. Because we know, I always find it fascinating when I listen to a webinar or something that, that the person is coaching somebody else, but I always pick up a lot of ideas from it. And that's what I'm hoping will happen as we grow or as people come in and they listen to past meetings. So I was thrilled with how this particular one turned out. It wasn't me talking the whole time. It wasn't like coming out and having a lecture. There was problem solving and there was sharing of ideas and here's my experience and what's your experience. And it really kind of evolved into the way that I was hoping it would. So my goal is to try and get more people coming in and understanding what's going on with fascia science. And what you would hear if you listen to this one too is that physicians are writing fascia and myofascial on prescriptions. So paying attention, especially if you're someone, and two of us, Caitlin and I, are in our kind of non-traditional setting, but and then the other gal who participated is in a very traditional outpatient setting. So she's under the insurance model and she's getting prescriptions with fascia and myofascial written on them, which I think is very exciting. And I think that's another reason that I'm passionate about getting this into the hands of traditional practitioners, because if the doctors are going to order it and they're going to mention it and they're going to talk about it, don't we want to be ready for that? So, all right, thank you so much. And I hope you will check out our courses. Again, if you take the science course, you get 4 months of this free just to help you get in there and digest and apply this content. But you can take any of our other courses, the posture, the movement, the self-treatment, any of those courses, and that enables you to be able to sign up and participate as well. So thank you so much. Everybody have a great day. Thank you for tuning in to the Fascia-Informed Therapist. It's been a pleasure sharing insights and strategies to help you integrate fascia science into your practice. I'm Amy Mayer, and I hope today's episode has inspired you to explore further and take your therapeutic skills to the next level. Remember, we're committed to creating and providing top-notch, evidence-based, fascia-informed continuing education that empowers you as an occupational therapy practitioner. Stay connected with us for more enriching content, and don't forget to check out our online courses to deepen your expertise. Until next time, keep expanding your knowledge, refining your skills, and confidently applying the science of fascia to your practice. Here's to advancing together in health and wellness.